All right, is on the hour. I have some folks from here on Hireology side who help me out. If you have any questions or comments or missing anything, feel free to ping it in the chat in the Q&A, and we'll love to take some of that later today. So today I'm super excited to bring to you what's new in Hireology. We got some updates to help you do more with less and hire better people faster. And so without further ado, let's do some introductions. My name is Anil Harjani. I'm the SVP of Product and Growth here at Hireology. I've been here just under 4 years, and it is my pleasure today to host this webinar. And the goal for us to give you all the big updates that we made in the last several months with a sneak peek on what's to come. All these updates are designed to automate aspects of your hiring process and make you go faster. And so with that, let's dig in. First and foremost, we're going to go through the hiring landscape. Let's touch upon the market factors affecting all of you, frankly, all of us, and how we think about our enhancements in light of that. So, first and foremost, if you look at the BLS jobs report, you will see that many Americans are getting back to work. Unemployment is down, workforce participation is up. If you look at the economy and the job market as a whole, we are actually seeing some recovery compared to where we were 6 months ago or last summer. In April, employers added 428,000 jobs to the economy, while unemployment remained steady at 3.6, which is a pandemic era low. All in all, with just these numbers, it appears that the economy is recovering nicely, and on paper it is. However, hopefully you all can hear some of the ruffling in the background, but let's get to business. Workers aren't just getting back to the workforce fast enough. And given how hot the economy is, businesses are looking to hire at a rate that is much, much higher than available for talent. So even though the economy appears to be recovering, we know that as an employer, you're really still feeling the weight of this worker shortage. And at Hireology, we predict that this is going to be the case for the next few years at the very least. You might hear some things in the market going on right now, but we believe, broadly speaking, this is going to continue for a little bit. All right, so because we still have the supply-demand imbalance, today's job seekers have the upper right hand, which means they don't have to give you the time of day if you aren't meeting their needs for how they want to apply for the job and complete the hiring process. So it's important to tailor your tools and hiring processes to what candidates need otherwise. Otherwise, you will lose them to the competitor down the street. So what is it that job seekers want? Let's go through the laundry list of things. According to a brand new study to be released by Hireology, more than half respondents complete the majority of their hiring process on their phones, which means if you're not making it as easy as possible for folks to apply to your job, but also navigate the entire hiring process on their phones, you're likely experiencing some lost candidates or ghosting. You never want to see that. We also found that 43% of folks who have admitted to ghosting a company said they did so because the process was just taking way too long and too inefficient. Again, folks don't want to, nor do they have to wait around for you anymore. If you remember, we've talked about this in the past, for every job that's open, there's 2 candidates typically looking for that right now. So you got to move really quickly. And finally, 60% said they applied to more than 11 jobs in their most recent search. Again, this shows us how many options folks have, so that if you're not making it easy for them to apply and complete the hiring process, they have 10 other opportunities at their fingertips. Quite frankly, I've had this happen to myself personally. The person I was interviewing with 2 weeks ago, she literally told me on the phone that she has had way too many interviews this week, that she needed to take a break on a Friday so we could pick up the interview process the following week. So this is happening to all of us, and we completely empathize with all of you. So let's talk about what you can do about this. Well, that's where Hireology comes in, and that's why we focus so heavily on the enhancements we've made recently to the platform. We just want to spend a quick few minutes on a refresher of our core capabilities and the primary product pillars that we have within Hireology that we think about every day. And we're going to touch upon what we're addressing and why we're addressing them. All right, just as a reminder, Hireology has a fully integrated product suite. We're the only player in this space that really succeeded both the pre-hire and the post-hire processes in your HR landscape. So the 3 main things that we need to do to help our customers that we focus on. First, we help attract the right people and build a recruiting pipeline that they need to be successful. Think of it as a sales and marketing function, right? We're going to help you build that funnel. Next, We have a platform that will ensure that you and your hiring managers are running a really smooth, right process to make sure you're capturing those hires. And we need to make sure you're doing that in a very scalable, predictable, and efficient way with a lot of tools we have around tracking, but really more so communication. We'll talk about it in a second. And then third, we provide a platform that helps you manage the hires you've made and employees you hire. That includes things like payroll, benefits, learning, and engagement, all the things you need post-hire, all the things you need pre-hire. We're the one-stop shop for your entire solution. We'd love to give you some updates about what we've been doing. All right, so let's look at the attract pillar, first and foremost, of Hireology, which primarily consists of career sites, job distribution, which includes job boards, social media, search engines, and employee referrals. We help you build and host a rich career site that includes so much more than just your open jobs. Everything from your benefits to your DEI initiatives to testimonials from your employees. And generally, this just sells your company as being a great place to work. Think of it as your branding landing page for your jobs and your careers for the candidates. We also make it really easy to distribute your open jobs across a range of job boards. We have a ton of job boards we integrate with. We're constantly adding either organic or sponsored job board options to our platform to make sure you just need to work through Hireology for all that you need. And we also power your employee referral program. Our built-in referral platform allows you to send internal campaigns to promote your program and keeps track of your referral candidates alongside other candidates from other sources so you can differentiate them and manages those referral bonus payouts. Many of you we know have employee referral programs. Love to hear about how successful that is for you. How are you managing it? Just spreadsheets, whiteboards, emails. Doing it within Hireology employee referral platform makes it super easy to manage the program and actually generates more activity and engagement with the employee base, all within the platform. All right, let's talk more about the Hire platform. So we'll discuss core capabilities there in the Hire suite, including ATS, SMS tools, and insights and reporting. Remember, our ATS tool includes a total suite of tooling for candidate screening with built-in verification tools that allows you to manage the hiring process from one central location and keeps candidates moving super fast, really important in today's candidate economy. Our communication tools make it super easy for you to stay in touch with candidates right from Hireology. You can directly text them or email them from the platform. It eliminates the need from jumping back and forth between system to system. It just keeps all that data really centralized, not just for yourself, but everybody else involved in the hiring process. And finally, our insights and reporting functionality keeps track of applicants, candidates, and hires defined by the various sources that you have access to. So you can understand exactly what is working, what isn't, what monitoring hiring velocity, as well as process adherence. So you can really follow up and adjust your workflows to optimize your process again and again, and simply get you to go faster. You can't manage what you don't measure, and this allows you to do that together in one platform. All right. When it comes to speed, we talked about this as it relates to communication. Hiring managers just cannot rely on just desktop software. I know many of you, we're all probably now on a desktop device, but I guarantee you, most of the activities you're doing these days from a consumer standpoint are on mobile. And if you're doing it on mobile, you're typically quicker to act, quicker to respond. Everybody's using text messaging these days. And so we want to empower you with a mobile device or a mobile app so you can keep the process moving faster between you and the candidates. First of all, as I mentioned, many, if not most of your candidates are engaging with you or your job on their mobile device. So they are ready to respond. So we just can't rely on desktop. It just slows down the process. So we have a mobile app to help hiring managers screen applicants, communicate with them, and almost run their entire process through the mobile app. It's really one of a kind platform that Hireology has developed in the market today. And if you don't have downloaded the mobile app from Hireology, I encourage you before the end of this webinar, go to the App Store, search for Hireology, download it on your phone, log in if you're a customer, or we love to talk to you more about how this can help you with your hiring process. We know most hiring managers are not just waiting around at their desks for applicants to show up, right? You have a regular day-to-day schedule. You're on top of you're trying to interview candidates, maybe moving around the floor, wherever you are, your location. Maybe this is so important to you that you want to engage with candidates, in the evening hours on the weekend, right? You got to do what you got to do in order to staff your team. So we know for a fact that customers who use mobile in tandem with desktop are able to hire twice as fast, right? Let me repeat that, twice as fast if they use mobile, making them more competitive, increase the odds of landing the top talent. you have to get there first. They're applied to 11 jobs. You need to be the first person to respond for your job. All right, let's talk about some of our other capabilities on the managed side of the equation. Our third pillar, this is all the post-hire tools such as onboarding, time and attendance, payroll, benefits, and performance management. These are all designed to be mobile, accessible for employees, managers, and administrators. This means that your team can see exactly what you need for them to know when you need them to know it, and take action directly on the phone for tasks like punching in and out, enrolling in benefits, updating their personal information, and pulling payroll and tax copies. No better time to do that than between January and March, when everybody's emailing your department for their information for their taxes. Among our customers, we found that streamlining onboarding and centralized HR can actually reduce turnover up to 16%. Now, some of you who are customers in the audience, if you're not familiar with this, we encourage you to reach out to your CSM or Hireology in general. We'd love to share with you our managed suite capabilities around onboarding and payroll. It is truly a difference maker, especially when it's fully integrated with Hireology if you're using us for pre-hire. All right, let's get into new and upcoming. This is my favorite part, new and upcoming releases that our product engineering team has been working on for months, and we're excited to share with you what we're doing. Again, our process here at Hireology is to listen to our customers and for them to tell us what their pain points are. And we want to align against what we're seeing in the market, what we're seeing in the customers, and how it helps you be more successful. So let's get into it. All right, we got 5 categories which we want to cover with you. We're going to go through some platform updates, mobile app updates, interview scheduling, referrals, and job advertising. Let's dig in. First and foremost, we got some platform updates. All right, so this is super exciting stuff for us because Hireology has about 9,000 locations. And we want to be able to share with all of the locations on our platform what's new and exciting. And one thing we've implemented recently is guided in-app messaging. So we want to share with you so you're aware what's new within the app. Certainly, we do send emails, and we know we send a lot of them. And at the same time, we want to make sure it's within context, right, of where you are, what you're trying to do. So you may start to notice that we're communicating with you via in-app guidance in a more kind of guided way. These are not ads. Remember, some of these actually click through, actually shows you how to do the workflow. And so, for example, in candidate search, we show this little modal to tell you what's new within the candidates tab within the app. So that next time you go there, you know what new feature functionality you can leverage, especially if you're leveraging the candidate database. Now, we live in a self-service world. We know with this information, you can essentially guide yourself quickly in context when you're doing the work. And of course, if you want more information, you're more than welcome to reach out to a customer success team and customer support team who are ready and able to help you answer any more questions you may have. But be on the lookout for these messages that show up and tips. They will guide you. They're often very personalized to your account or even to sometimes your individual user, all there to help you explore and discover the depth and sophistication, honestly, of what's in the application and service. All right, next up is enhanced release notes. Similar concept, but right now when we release a ton more than just features, right? We have released a lot of bug fixes that actually get reported by our customers and especially internally as well, and little enhancements that don't really warrant the sort of the ginormous sort of shout from the rooftops, hey, this is what we released. But we want you to know what they are because we know they're important to you. And so we make a lot of updates over every week and every other week. And we want to make it easier for you to access this information right within the app. So we actually created a space, but these are stored and you can review them and go back as far as possible. And this is what it'll look like. So it's it'll be accessible to you through one of the icons on the top. When you click on it, it'll actually give you a ton of rich information that you can click more into. And sometimes we'll put images, so it's very clear to you what we've changed, sometimes videos. And this is my favorite part. You can actually leave comments back to us on what you thought, because we're always taking your feedback to make updates. Or we're going to have the ability potentially to add reactions. And so that everybody else within the community, the Hireology community on a user basis will know this is what people like, maybe they want some changes. And so we want to ensure that we're building a sense of community amongst the Hireology family. And this is one way we're doing it. And we're going to do more of this. So this is going live next month. All right. I talked about candidate search. Now, because we've got a lot of feedback when we made the updates earlier in January, we actually made additional enhancements. So now you're going to be able to bookmark and save advanced search features. Again, if you haven't tried candidate search yet, it's up there in the top bar of your app. It's called Candidates. It's where all your former applicants and your hires have been made. And so you've got a database that's great source of applicants. I'll give you a stat in a second. But what we've done essentially is allowed you to save these searches as you navigate around. So when you come back, maybe you had a search based on people who are willing to work weekends, or people who are willing to work a certain shift, or someone in a location, or maybe they're not ready to make a move yet. Check back with them in another, maybe 6 months. It's a way for you to organize your database and re-engage with them in a way that is meaningful to you. So now, not only can you save that search, you can actually share that search with other people on the hiring team, or people who are not. If you want to invite them into the Hireology experience to look at the app, you can send that URL, obviously create an account for them, and they can come in and start to manage these candidates with you within the app. So quite honestly, we believe that the past applicants and former employees are your future employees. It is, some of you may have stories. I definitely have a couple of stories here at Hireology. We actually hire a lot of boomerang employees. So staying engaged with people who, enjoyed working for you and your brand and want to come back and work for you is actually a smart idea. In fact, the data doesn't lie. If you leverage a candidate database to re-engage this group, we see our customers, all of you, hire about 30% of them. So we try to re-engage maybe 10 candidates, you move them and start to reach out to them via SMS and email over in our application. You'll hire 3 out of 10 because they already know who you are. They've been through a process before. Maybe it wasn't the right time. You've nurtured them. People are using this at scale. 3 out of 10 hire these candidates. So it's a great source of qualified candidates. I highly encourage you to include that in your process. All right, mobile app. Excuse me while I take a sip of water. So we made a couple of enhancements, super exciting. First and foremost, as I mentioned, if you're not using the Hireology mobile app, now is the time to go to the App Store on your phone for iOS and just search Hireology. Please download it and have it on your phone. It will fundamentally change how you engage with your applicants, and the data doesn't lie. So just a couple of updates here. We have an iOS update to share, and we made a ton of advances over the last 12 months. And what we want to do is basically allow you to move as fast as possible with candidates. If you see some of the stats here, if you use a mobile app, customers review applicants 33% faster than customers who don't use a mobile app. So you have a strategic advantage when you use the Hireology mobile app to engage with applicants, whether reviewing their content or reviewing their resume, and also sending them a message. And so, again, as I mentioned, all your applicants are on mobile first. And so it behooves you and all of us to engage in a similar experience. And I would say your first button you should press when you see an applicant you like is the SMS button, because you will see them respond back to you 7 times faster. That is a must do. Email is there purely as a secondary option for those who desire it, but we always say be SMS first and mobile first. That will give you hiring success. So let's talk about what else is on mobile. Again, as I mentioned, we've been making a ton of investments. This is super exciting, honestly. When you get an applicant right now, you do get some emails saying that you've received an applicant, but we're now creating iOS notifications for new and candidate inbox activities. So when you do get an applicant and you do get somebody messaging you, you're going to get a notification. Of course, if you turn those on, this is going to be dramatic. This could dramatically change how fast you're able to be aware and respond back to your applicants. Working on this for some time. It's the power of the mobile app. It allows you to be super quick, and it will happen. Candidates are applying whenever they want to, right? They're not waiting for your business hours to apply to your job. They may be applying at 7 o'clock in the evening. And if that applicant may be your next hire, and if you have the ability to respond back to them quickly while maybe you're working, maybe you're commuting, we want you to be able to do that and be aware quickly. So it's coming in early June. Stay tuned. You're going to hear a lot more communications from us. But this, again, if you're a mobile app user, this should make you very happy to know that you're going to have another way to engage quickly with your candidates. Okay. next step. Next step is interview scheduling. We released a highly anticipated feature earlier this year to get it onto the market, and want to give you an update on what else we're doing with interview scheduling with some enhancements, again, based on your feedback. So first and foremost, we did launch this in Q1, and too much fanfare, to be honest. Our customers are waiting for this, because when we did the research, we saw that almost the single most activity that people are using Hireology app for, it goes from, when you talk about applicant tracking system, we're really an applicant communication and engagement system in many ways, and they were engaging with customers. We're engaging with customers on this particular feature set, and they wanted to go quicker. They were sending back and forth emails with candidates about, the first thing they were doing was all about communication around scheduling interviews. Almost entirely, that was soaking up their time. And so now we automate that. Interview scheduling, think about it as Calendly. If some of you use those tools to send out a link with here's some available options, we're really here to help you reduce some of that ghosting that occurs. If you can send out a message to a candidate and they're in charge, remember, they're in charge of the schedule. They've got 11 interviews going on at the same time. And if you say, hey, pick a time that works for you in the next 2 days, you're more than likely to get that applicant to take your interview, as opposed to waiting on the next email after email. And so what we saw was when we launched this, and just in a couple of months, we've actually helped schedule interviews. 5,000 interviews have been scheduled and set using this automated tool. And they actually happen 2 times faster. That's the whole point, making you go fast. It went actually from 2 days to schedule an interview down to 1 day, which is super fabulous. Every day counts. So again, encourage you to put these tools together. They all help you get moving faster. So real quick, we had a question here regarding the mobile app. Does it only work with Apple iPhones? The mobile app currently does. The updates we made is an iOS app. However, you can access Hireology through a mobile web, and you can get most of the experiences are also available there, but the actual notifications is just iOS right now. Also, will this pay with, there's another question real quick. Will the interview scheduling pair with Outlook? The answer is yes. Exciting. All right, let's get going. Thank you for the questions. All right, interview scheduling continues. So the next one is, not only do we want to just launch interview scheduling, we also learned quickly that initially it was just one-on-one interviews, but we learned quickly that people are trying to like whip them through and do multiple people in the same room with the interviewee. And so in the spirit of going fast, and we love that. So they want to do panel interviews now. And this is a great way to get people through the process. So we heard people want to do up to 5 participants when they meet their candidates. So now if you're a hiring manager or you're an HR and you got scheduled interviews for 5 people, and your candidate is fine with meeting all 5 at the same time, for example, or 2 or 3 or 4, you can now add all those 5 people and look at their calendars and organize it in a way that you find the right slot or slots, and you give maybe 5 slots available to the candidate to pick, and they're good to go. So again, this is like all automated, and it's coming in the early summertime. So we're almost here. So stay tuned. Not done yet, because we got more on interview scheduling. So we know we're in a digital first world. Not everybody's physically meeting for panel interviews or one-on-one interviews. Oftentimes they're starting with just, Zoom or Teams or Google Meet, what have you. And so we are working on bringing to all of you live video interviewing syncing. So if you're currently using Teams or you're currently using Google Meet, for example, those are the first 2 we're going to start with, and we'll follow Zoom soon after that, I promise you. But we're going to have the ability for you to insert those sync again and insert those conferencing links within the experience, so that we can make sure that the candidate has that link accessible, the hiring manager or all the interviewers have that link, and you're good to go. Again, taking steps out of the process to add on, and as you can tell, we're continuously iterating upon this experience, and we're super excited to bring live video interviews to you in late summer. All right, so we'll pick up some of the other questions at the end. I see them coming through. I love them. Please bring them on. let's keep going. Okay, so we talked about the interview process. We're gonna go back and talk about the referrals as part of our track suite. Let me just check without missing anything here. Yep. So we did, just to re-anchor everybody, if you're not familiar, Hireology did actually make an acquisition of a product about a year ago. The company's called Employ Us, where we're really all about Hireology referrals. So now this is a fully integrated product within our suite. If you haven't heard about it, I encourage you to check it out. It is changing how we manage referral programs across our entire customer base. And it really is driving a high level of quality applicants. So if you currently have a referral program, or you haven't even started one yet, just know that 1 out of 8 hires is in the data is actually an employee referral. I actually, on my own team, I've got probably 4 or 5 referrals that I've hired. And by far, those are the most loyal employees, best culture fit. They're here to join the community of colleagues that they've come to know over the years. And so encourage you to really see the benefits of what referrals can do for your business. But I've got some updates beyond what we do as a base platform. And so the first update we have is that those of you who run employee referrals programs, sometimes you think about, okay, what am I going to do if someone gets hired? Do I just send them a bonus? Let's just call it $500 on, within the first 30 days that someone gets hired. You send your employee $500 and you can set that up. Great. But now we know customers want to be able to have advanced rules and bonus rules where maybe you want to do the next $500 after 6 months when that person stays. So there's sort of this mutual incentive of success and a partnership really in this referral program that makes sure that your employee is fully engaged with that new hire that they help bring in. And also to some degree, that new hire that came in knows that employee is on the hook in some ways to receive their bonus after 6 months. And they also to operate together in a way that creates an aura of, we're going to make this work. I understand we're not just going to bounce after 1 to 2 months, and we're going to work with the HR team, the management team, to make sure this is a success. So there's financial incentives tied mutually to this program, which is super, super great. And you can you can do as many rules as you desire for different programs, whether it's for certain segments of your business, departments, or roles. And so again, this is sort of advanced capability for all of you to leverage. You can also now share custom social images on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Before, obviously, it was a little bit of a standard image. Now you can upload your own image, and we encourage you to make that branded so that when they show up in a social network where maybe you already created a base of alumni or your employees are already a part of a group, they end up sharing that because they want, first of all, they want the bonus. They want to also, they're proud of sharing the brand name. And, this is a great way to sort of amplify the job opportunities you have at your brand and your location. So it's available now for full customers. Don't have to wait. Ready to go. All right. Another great update here is that when we know running referral campaigns, basically you can do that individually and you can do it for whatever cadence you want. But now we have what we call, newsletters that you can send. So this is an example over here that this actually, I believe this is a Hireology example. So you're seeing a real-time live example of what we do here at Hireology. And you can see the subject title, New Jobs at Hireology. We send it out to the entire company. We do this once a month. And you can automatically have your employees share this to their social networks. You can see that it shows them over there the bonus program. And they know every month what jobs, what are the bonus rules. Today's employees love a good side hustle. I can tell you that there are some employees here at Hireology who are making pretty good money referring their friends and former colleagues into Hireology. So you get a couple of these in, making a couple $1,000. That's not too shabby, right? So I encourage you. We call these newsletters. And honestly, when we do this, it's sort of a great amplifier. It's a great reminder, first of all. And we see on social media, and I believe actually yesterday was the day we sent one of these out. You start seeing within the network, people are sharing the job. So again, keeping incentives, keeping the program top of mind is really the other half of the equation. The tool only is as good as how, and the program only as good as how you communicate it. So I encourage you all to invest in communicating, and this is one way we can help you. All right. Job advertising solutions. So now we at Hireology obviously do whatever we can to distribute your jobs to all the major job networks, right? Now this is organic networks. No, truth be told, organic is a free source that the job boards use as an incentive to give you a taste of what an applicant flow could look like, and they always want to be able to upsell you to their sponsored job postings. And so data tells us job advertising does create applicants on a ratio of quality, though it does vary. Now, we do believe job advertising and the sponsored job boards should be part of your distribution and strategy in promoting your job. And we say that because promotion is important. I give the example last week that maybe when you're looking for a restaurant to go out to eat, you'd go and you saw the billboard, you looked on Google, you talked to your friend, but ultimately you made the reservation on OpenTable. And so, but the attribution of that is the OpenTable, right? No one says that it was referral, it was Google, it was a billboard. And I mean, that's fair, but you still need to do the promotion. So marketing your job works, even though you don't always have direct attribution from these sources. I can tell you for a fact, we've seen the data that promotion really helps amplify the ability for someone to go to a career site and then apply for the job. And it's a great place for them to land because the career site has a lot of qualitative information about, and your job is really your brand page and you're selling your value proposition for your job. So we did do some enhancements here in this past quarter and also scaling to make sure that we have more sources for you to promote those jobs. All right, so job advertising solutions. We did release some updates for sponsored jobs for Indeed, for Jobcase, and Cairn Homes. So Cairn Homes, for those of you in the healthcare community, they're the largest, quite honestly, source of caregivers, one of the largest in terms of providing quality applicants. We have seen a lot of success in working with them sort of ad hoc over the years. And then we thought this is a really great source. If you haven't tried Cairn Homes within the job marketplace or the job advertising marketplace within Hireology, I encourage you to give it a shot at the very least. See whether it works for you. It really depends on where your job is and what the market's looking like and which market you're in. And we encourage you to try what works for you. Obviously, we have some options here and we're constantly monitoring. It is very market specific on when and what works. And we want to make sure we give you the data to help you make an informed decision. So these are now available within the job marketplace, and I encourage you to give it a shot. All right, so that is the updates I have for you today. Any questions you have, I'll start to go through and see what we have in comment. I'm just gonna do a time check here, make sure I am not missing the boat on the end of the time. Got some time. So let's see here. Let's work off this list. So one question was, are you able to block out time before and after interviews and limit the amount of interviewees allowed each day? You can definitely select, the times that you want to send to the candidate. And it will automatically, so you can select that, and also it will automatically see what for the people you're trying to set interviews for, whether they're available or not. So it kind of inherently gets to that same problem you have. And it's really up to you on how you want to limit the amount of interviews allowed each day. And what we see is a lot of our customers really do a little bit of a handshake agreement with their hiring team and say, okay, you want to do only Fridays, three on Fridays. I can see a lot of our recruiting managers and HR team members saying, well, we know you need that seat filled. We're going to make sure that you have as many interviews as you deem necessary to get that going. All right. So how can I see my candidates for my partner job ads on mobile? So you're going to have to go to your, you're going to have to go into the Hireology app right now. Insights is a, sort of data-oriented tool and feature set. So right now it's only available on desktop. And, certainly if you want to see the source of the applicant, we can take that as a feedback on mobile. You want to see where it came from. Generally speaking, we always encourage our customers to optimize if you want to get more advanced, optimize your outreach to your candidates if they came from a career site or their referral. Like those are your first and foremost, by far 7 times more effective in moving them through the process. So a little tip for you all, trying to figure out how where do you start your journey with your candidates. Who can I talk to for more information on subscribing to Hireology? You can certainly send in to here at info@hireology.com. However, I would encourage you to go to hireology.com and submit a demo request, and we will get back to you today or tomorrow very quickly here for those of you interested. Is there a way to track if candidate had applied before on another site like Indeed? That's my biggest struggle. I'm often toggling back and forth. It is the wild, wild west on the web. We get a lot of these questions at Hireology today. We largely are able to see what's called last touch attribution, where did it, sort of the open table analogy. And so, it is a little challenging. However, those who are more advanced, I believe there are some options. If you use, if you're an advanced Google user, you can use something called a tag manager, which gives you a little more insight on people who land on your career site. And so again, note that, check out the knowledge base on hireology.com. I think it's support.hireology.com, and search for Google Tag Manager, or just Google that in general. There's some options out there for those of you who want to get more information about how traffic's coming, and you may be able to get more there. Information is power, and we will know you want to know about that. So give that a shot. Again, if you want to call into Hireology and talk more with what some of your options are, we'll see what we can do to help. All right, how can I save a candidate without advancing or declining? When I refresh my job to put at the top of search engines, I lose all my candidates with previous posting. I feel like this is a question I'm going to have to defer to my customer support team, and maybe something going on with your particular job. You can, however, if I read this correctly, and again, I'm trying to make sure I understand, you can transfer candidates to other jobs. We don't want you to lose your candidates. And so, and there's ways, obviously, that, again, you have a candidate database, so you never really lose your candidates. You can just, there's a way, obviously, to transfer them in the app when you open up a new job, or if you close them a mistake, they're still there. So you can import them back into the new job. So I wouldn't be worried about this one. Please give us a shout, and I think we'll have a solution for you. Okay, we got this question. We answered this particular question. Can you embed a video in job descriptions? Today, we don't have that capability, although that's super interesting. I would encourage you, if you have a customer success representative, please do reach out to them. And out of the box, we can't do that, although you can obviously link to your career site for someone to view that. Or anywhere else where you may be hosting that. We see a lot of our customers do that, by the way. And I love that, expose your brand and really sell them on the value prop. We have the ability for click to call or click to SMS and job description. So obviously this only largely makes sense if you're on mobile, and this is probably for people to, if they're a candidate and they want to click on the job description to communicate with the hiring manager. So if I read this correctly, that's what it is. I mean, right now you can add, if you desire, you can add a phone number in your job description, and that is not, we don't limit that. That's just text, and any candidate can click to call. Or if you have obviously, you may lose out on some of the storage of SMS information within the Hireology app. That's what we do need. There are some compliance reasons why you want them to apply first and check that box to say, I want to receive SMS. So that's there for a good reason, just so you know. Sneak peek, we may have some functionality in the future where if you want to upgrade your account, where we want to text to apply potentially. And so that might come in a future, a little teaser there. I'm not going to say any more. My product team may hand slap me, but just so you know that we know, basically what we know is candidates want to engage with their employers on mobile, and whether it's through text, or so you can obviously put in a phone number in there if you need them to call you right away. I do encourage you that you have them apply, so you have it in your system so you can manage it. And so just I would encourage you to make your application form really, really small. Another pro tip here, no more than 5 fields. And so if you have more than 5 fields, if you go 5 to 10 fields, you actually drop your applicant flow by half if you have too long of a form. So those of you who are in the multi-page applicant space, application form space, please reach out to us. We know what it takes to get these applicants in. So is the Indeed sponsorship function a new one? I've not been able to sponsor jobs from Hireology. I have to go directly to Indeed. That is correct. It is new. However, I will tell you, it's not a substitute for what you're doing directly with Indeed. Indeed obviously has other tooling and feature sets that they do behind the scenes to enable was applicants. Sometimes they sort of resurface applicants or really candidates for you to reach out to proactively versus like active applies. So it's not a substitute, but for those of you, if you would like to try, sponsoring directly within Hireology on Indeed, and I believe it's rolling out. We did a beta test, so it's not. If it's not live today, it will be soon, and you can certainly try that. Again, we want you to do what works best for you, and you're free to determine what's available or try what's available. Caregiver requirement is a struggle. Any advice? A glass of wine is one way to get through this. We hear from our customers all day long. And so, if I understand correctly, caregiver requirement is a struggle. I'm not sure about the requirement statement, but it's more so maybe just sourcing it. I'll go back and say, try Karen Homes as a source to sponsor your jobs. We do see that being a decent source from a cost per applicant perspective. And so that is worth your while. Oh, on a relevant question, what is sponsorship? So sponsorship is another way of saying purchase an advertisement. It's a simple way of saying it. Sponsorship kind of means in the world of job boards can mean something different. But basically, if there's difference between organic traffic, which is just, let's call it free traffic, versus there's nothing in the world that's really free. People land on, for example, ZipRecruiter.com, and jobs are posted out there. When customers sponsor, they're putting money to make sure that the listing of that job is higher in the ranking. And it depends on how long that job's been open. It depends on how new it is. It depends on what market you're in, how much money you put behind it. And so think of it no different than just a marketing spend. Because it's tough out there, we definitely recommend you need to put marketing spend in addition to whatever you're doing today around process management, which we do really well with Hireology and communication, to ensure you've got enough of a funnel. And by the way, we see customers who are very happy with 10 to 15 applicants, and they actually hire just fine based on that. Some customers feel like they need to talk to 30 applicants before they make a hire. And that's personal preferences. We see it somewhere range between 15 and 30 applicants is what people need or desire to make a hire. In my own personal case, I've made a hire with just talking to 5 applicants. And so it's really what you feel you need to make a good decision. So you feel like you need more applicants, then I would encourage you to think about sponsoring or promoting or advertising. Thank you for that question. We are coming over from Hirel. Will all of our information be transferred over from Hirel to Hireology? That is a great question for Jessica Baldwin, who is now part of the Hireology team. Some information can, some information depends on what it is. We may have some options for you, but I would really direct you to reach out to Jessica Baldwin at so that's jbaldwin@hireology.com. If you're not familiar, please reach out to the info@Hireology email link, and we will absolutely put you in touch with her. She's fantastic. We've had already 100 Hirel customers come over, and we're super enthused to welcome you to the Hireology family. Can we get an alert message before the interview? Yes. We know this is something that that you care about. So if you're using today interview scheduling, whatever your settings are within your calendar is what will alert you. Now, and even the candidate, we know and we've heard that we've actually heard some of our customers schedule themselves to send out an email before the interview starts to the hiring manager and to the candidate to say, hey, FYI, this is coming, be ready for it. Because, out of sight, out of mind, if you're not at your desk or what have you, maybe not prepared for that meeting. So we see people going around that. Right now, we don't have alert message before the interview other than what's in the calendar. But we are working on ways to generate more automated messages that may be coming out, for a couple of quarters from now. But we know this is a need, so I will take this back to our product team as something that to digging further on what the needs are. Some great questions. Oh, hold on a second. I see. Let's see what's this is coming up. Oh, we got a request for Jessica Baldwin's contact email. Let me try this. She joined us from HRL. She'll be very happy that I just sent her email address to potentially 100 people. So there we go. Any other questions? Carly? Oh, I see a bunch of folks talking about what's possible in the app. So thank you for that. Love the community here helping us out.
I don't believe we have any more questions, but feel free to obviously email info@hireology.com if anything comes up. But as far as questions for now, I think you had answered all of them, Anil. Thank you.
Absolutely. It is my pleasure to be able to share with you some information today. I wish you the best in hiring success, and I hope we can help you on your journey along the way. Please give us a call and or reach out if we can help in any way. And thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day.